Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Plant Whisperer 242. Yes, guys, we're outside again. Studios a bit too stuffy. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. And to all of our new viewers, what is the Plant Whisperer 242? And who's that lady there in that hat? Well, I'm Kat, and I've been in the plant industry for the last 15 years. And it's a fascinating place to be in the 242. I know you wouldn't think so, but it is. But the Plant Whisperer 242 was created as a way to highlight all of the specialists we have in the plant industry. And when the curfew lifts, as I would have mentioned in previous shows, we will definitely be going out interviewing different specialists in the horticultural field, in the landscaping field, forestry field, plants in general. Anything with plants, we're going to be highlighting them and interviewing them and, taking a look at their specialty. So, you guys, if this is your first time, again, welcome. We're in the yard, I know, and we're here to talk about plants. Now, for the past few weeks, everybody, like I said, has been asking me questions about backyard farming. So that's where we decided to start the show on with backyard farming. And like I said, once you farm, you're a farmer. Don't let them put no specialty on it that you're a backyard farmer. You are a farmer. So today's show is all about, told you guys we had some homework during last week. But today's show is all about fertilization and treatments. I hope you guys did what you were supposed to do your homework. If you didn't, we'll still help you during this show as best as we can. So, before we start and jump into this week's meat, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little recap for everybody, just a quick recap for everybody that would have not watched the previous episodes and where we're at right now this week. Okay? Just a recap. And for more details, you can always go on our YouTube page, or you can always just go on our Facebook page and watch the previous videos. And if you have any questions, we will definitely answer them later on in the show. So hold your questions. We're going to answer them. And hopefully it helps you with your growing this season. So what did we do in the past previous weeks? You guys, we would have planted some cucumber seeds. Yes, we did. We talked about the different soils and the different steps that you should take before you decide to grow. I won't go through all 7 steps, but you guys recap them on the different videos. Again, YouTube, and we're also here on Facebook. So recap those 7 steps. And once those steps would have been done, you guys, it's windy, okay? It's very windy today, and it's cool, so that's always a good thing. So, after you would have planted your seeds, which you would have decided what plants you wanted to grow, germination process starts. And like I would have mentioned in the previous episode, germination usually happens 1 to 2 weeks, give or take the plant. I tell you, sometimes some plants can make you feel discouraged, but don't mind, it's just germination. And I would have already discussed you guys what is germination. That's one of the terms, germination. What is germination? So during the show, we're gonna give you some terms to make sure that you are a farmer and you sound all professional when you're talking about your planting and your process. So we would have talked about germination and irrigation, how to keep your plants hydrated during last week's show. And we looked at the progress of our seeds, our cucumber seeds. They did so well during last week. They blew me out of the park. And I know we have some photos to show after this segment. We're going to show you one of our viewers. They sent in their cucumber seeds. It was so beautiful, Miss Barton. So now, like I said, that was the recap, and you could go more into detail in our other videos on Facebook and on YouTube. So Um, Here we are. We're not getting into the meat yet. As I said, this week's show is all about fertilization and treatments. So now what we're gonna do is, I know you guys, this was a process, and I know a lot of people went through the same thing. What happens to us here on the team? So what did I do after the show? I decided, because you know our little our little seeds, they germinated. They now had leaves. So the first step of what I did, I introduced them to some more sun because they have leaves. Morning, Miss Martin. Okay, you know our seedlings now have leaves. So once your seeds has developed leaves, what you have to do is you have to give them more lighting. Okay? So I took our seedling trays and I put them in some more sunlight to help in the process of photosynthesis. Y'all heard that term? Photosynthesis. Now, what is photosynthesis, you may ask? Well, photosynthesis from Oxford is described as the process used by plants and other organisms to convert light energy into chemical energy that can later be released to fuel the organism's activity. Oxford. However, for just to keep it real, all photosynthesis is basically the way plants make food for themselves using the sunlight. Easy definition, easy to understand. Plants can make their own, as you guys can see behind us, there are a lot of plantain leaves and they're nice and green. They use the sunlight to produce the food that they need. Okay, and that's photosynthesis. Plants are really smart, eh? They can't move, but they could make their own food. They could get their own food. They're really smart. So we're going to go through this diagram right there. What is photosynthesis? So first, the plant draws up water through its roots. So you might have wondered why seeds produce their roots first, because they need to be able to get water. Secondly, the leaves take in carbon dioxide from the air. Third, the leaves trap energy from the sunlight. Fourth, the plant uses the energy of the sunlight to turn water and carbon dioxide into sugars and oxygen. And those sugars are what's going to help you produce your fruit. Okay? That's very important. And five, the plant releases oxygen into the air. Six, the plant uses the sugars for growth. And like I mentioned earlier, to produce fruit. So that is photosynthesis. And that is why you have to introduce your seedlings into the sun or some form of lighting. You're going to have to do that so photosynthesis can happen. Okay? They have to be able to feed themselves. All right. So what we are going to do, we talked about photosynthesis. So let's see what happened, y'all. We put our seedling trays out in the sun to get a little bit more sun. And let's see the progress of it. Okay. This is our cucumbers. It was okay. We did a little better. Our cucumbers. Oh, let me see. Yes, darlings. So our cucumbers, they did well. However, you guys knew last week it was raining a lot. And our choice of soil here was potting soil. And you guys know potting soil is great for drainage. So me, depending on nature and all the rain we had, I was being like slack, people. I didn't water my plants as much. I didn't water our plants as much as we should have. So we had a little disaster, and I want to show you that one. We keep it real on Plant Whisper 242. Hold on, guys. Yep. I'm showing you the good and the bad. So what happened with this here, it's a lack of water and plus too much rain. So some of them got beat out, like a lot of you guys. A lot of the rain beat out some of the seeds and lack of watering. So you guys gonna have to be careful that you don't do what I did and rely on nature too much for your watering. But I'm gonna redo this, okay, people? We're gonna redo this, okay? So there's good and the bad. And this is the reality. of growing, okay? Sometimes it hurts your feeling, but it's the reality of growing, okay? But we saved a lot, guys. We saved a lot. So I can put this one to the side. And just for our viewers here, we also did celery. So our celery is gonna soon spring. Like I told you, I would have done this after the show, and not everything germinates in a week. So this hasn't germinated. I'm sure it's germinating underneath there, pushing out some roots, because I can see some roots underneath there. So we're probably gonna have some celery by next week's show. That was just a little surprise for you guys. Okay. So our term for this week is photosynthesis. And we would have gotten a little clearer understanding of what photosynthesis is, why it's, sorry. This is going to lead into this week's show. So because of what happened, I had to try to rescue some of our plants, and I fertilized it a little early. I usually don't recommend fertilizing it this early, but because of what happened, I had to fertilize it last week. So that was some of the steps to get our seedlings in the seedling tray there to get it perfect. So I know paper everywhere. I get fussed out all the time from the producer about all the paper everywhere. I like plants, so paper is a derivative of plants. Anyway, so I had to fertilize our seedlings. I don't recommend doing it this early, but I had to do it because, yeah, they wasn't looking that good. So, like I mentioned, photosynthesis is the way that plants make their own food. So, what about fertilization? What is a fertilization? Sometimes we have to supplement our plants because our plants can't make sufficient food, or your soil may be derived of certain minerals and different chemicals that it needs. So, fertilizers. Here comes fertilizers. If you have your plants, fertilizers are something that you're going to use. Now, I know a lot of people throw around the term fertilizers a lot. What is a fertilizer? I'm waiting on the producer to show what a fertilizer is. Okay, we're supposed to have a slide of definition of what a fertilizer is. But a fertilizer is any chemical or natural substance added to the soil or to the plant to help with fertility. And that's what fertilizer is. In this image, this is a pic over there. That's a pic of a type of fertilizer. There are many types of fertilizers. You're going to have to decide which one is best for your plant. Okay? Now, like I said, fertilizers are good for adding a lot of other minerals that are devoid of your soil, because not every soil carries the same amount of minerals or elements. Okay? So you may have to add fertilizers to your plants, because that's another way they're going to be able to absorb. That's the way they absorb it, through their roots. Plants make food through their leaves, and they can also absorb it through their roots, okay? Now, some people don't believe in fertilizers. Sometimes I'm one of them. But there's another option for you guys that don't want to use fertilizers. You can use different form of composts. Compost is I'll beg to say, the more organic way to get foods to your plants via their roots. I'm an advocate of using compost. I'm not totally against fertilization, but I'm an advocate of using compost. It's organic, and I know we often use and throw around the term compost a lot. So what is a compost, or what is compost? Compost is basically decaying organic matter. You know, if you want to start a compost heap, you can always contact us and we can let you know. We can consult with you what is best what are the steps you need to do to have a compost pile, okay? So if that's the way you want to go, if you want to go all organic, you can reach out to us. The numbers that are beneath there. That's 525-1626. And we will let you know how you can start and successfully have a compost bin. So now, we would have already talked about fertilization, composting. Some people consider composting a form of fertilization. I mean, they're two different terms, but it is what it is. You're feeding your plant more food. Now, I don't care, I shouldn't say it like this, but it does not matter how much food and how pretty your plants are growing. You're going to need a treatment regimen. And why are you treating? What are you treating against? Oh, there's some predators out there that are going to eat up your crop. And I've been getting a lot of calls in regards to this too. Like, what is this? I noticed this on my leaves. I noticed this on the stems of my plants. So, treatments. There are lots of pests. Lots of pests, okay? One of the biggest predators there are snails. They just chomp away at your leaves. You have snails. You have, that there is a potato beetle. I know a lot of people are growing potatoes now. That's a potato beetle. They eat at your leaves. And why it's so important to have a treatment regimen in place is because they attack your leaves, okay? If your plant cannot carry out photosynthesis, what we talked about, remember the term photosynthesis? If they cannot carry out photosynthesis, more than likely you won't have a crop. Yes, plants can absorb nutrients through their root system, but for the most part, photosynthesis is a very important process in the production of crop, okay? So right there, that's the potato beetle, and they're very bad. And ants, people, ants, ants is a nuisance to plants and humans. But ants are very bad when it comes to plants. They disturb the root system, and you guys would have already seen in the diagram a few minutes ago. Your roots are very important for the absorption of water and absorption of certain nutrients. Yeah, you see the roots down there, they're absorbing water. You know, ants, they burrow through the soil and they live there. And because underneath there is so sweet with water and different sugars as well. Sugars are kept in the roots. All right, we ain't do biology class, but sugars are in your roots as well, in different cells. They chomp at it. It's very, very sweet underneath there, okay? And you guys will know roots being stuff like sweet potatoes. They sweet, right? Okay. So ants are a terrible predator as well when it comes to plants. We have, that was it. Oh, well, we can come to that slide next. Okay, pest. Yeah, that's good. So, you're going to have to put together a treatment regimen. You're going to have to also be able to identify what pests are doing what, okay? Because you can't treat or kill. Oh, some people don't like to use the word kill, but you cannot prevent pests from using the same method. So the way you would try to get rid of ants, it won't work with a snail. Okay? It won't work with a beetle. So you will have to identify what the pest is, and then you'll have to know how to treat it. And if you need help with identifying what's destroying your crop, you could always contact us at the contact below, which is 525-1626. And we'll set up a consultation time where we could come out and help you in that process as well. So, I know it was a rush. And listen, I told you guys to send your photos of the things you're growing. You guys already saw what happened to our cucumbers this afternoon, or maybe even after the show. I'm going to transplant, and that's basically going to be next week's show for the most part. I'm going to transplant our seedling Hold on, guys. Let's go to the other camera. So these are going to be transplanted. Yes. And they're going to grow bigger and stronger. If you guys could see, I wish I could show you guys. But underneath here, so many roots. The roots are so long and dangly. So that's a sign that shows you it's ready to be transplanted. Not every plant is going to be able, I don't know if it was a good shot there, but you can see, you guys can see the roots. Anyway, I don't want to tilt it over. Anyway, I think you guys saw it. We're going to be transplanting these for next week, and that's basically going to be next week's show. But what we're going to do is we're going to highlight, and we have some questions we're going to answer. And if you guys have any more questions, let us know. But we're going to be highlighting and showing you guys some of your seedlings. You did so well. Wait, no. That's a lie. Yes, this is Miss Martin Cucumbers. Listen, you are fabulous. They look fabulous. And you guys see she started with her egg carton. I continue telling you guys, you don't have to go to fancy and purchase starter trays. I had this one actually lying around, so I used it. They are beautiful. They look like they could eat now. They look scrumptious. You did a good job, Miss Martin. And I think we have another one. Yes, Chanel. These are her peppers. Listen, you guys make me so proud to see you as such good farmers, and your products look awesome. So we can't wait until we get to the fruiting section of it all. Now, we got a question in from Miss Martin a few seconds ago. I don't know if that could be pulled up. No? Okay, well, I'm going to pull up the question. Okay, sorry, guys. Okay, I'm going to pull up the question. Give me 1 second. Hold on, guys. Okay, so Ms. Martin sent in a question, and her question was, "Hi, Cat. Morning, Cat. I have raised beds. What kind of soil can I use?" Great question. I get this all the time. I have clients that, want to know what soil they can use. Now, it all depends. I always, from the previous, I think the second episode, I would have mentioned that there's so many different types of soil. Okay? I prefer potting soil. Now, y'all saw what happened to one of our trays. Potting soil is good with drainage. It all depends on what you are growing. All soil creates a different environment. Okay? So you're going to have to now really think about what you're growing in your beds. And once you already decide and identified, hey, I'm going to grow melons, I'm going to grow carrots, then you can then from there, you can decide if it's going to be potting soil, a potting mix, any different medium, because all works differently and for different plants. So I don't want to give you the wrong advice. Everybody knows what my favorite is, and I mention that a lot, but my favorite isn't always the best. Potting soil isn't always the best. If you're not a good waterer, you'll have problems with your plants. So I love potting soil. I'm not advising you to use potting soil. Like I said, it's all based on what you're going to grow. And I'll probably reach out to you later and we can discuss. But if you guys have any more questions, any more photos, we definitely will answer them. Oh, you can call us and we can set up a consultation time. But if you have any more questions during this week's show, this is the time. We'll answer them for you. We want you guys to continue growing. Growing is fun. I had fun this week. It was so much fun. It was a lot of fun. I have so much other little surprises for you guys. We have beets growing for you guys. I showed you celery. We have some mint. mint growing. I picked off some for you guys to see. We got some mint growing for our team members. Yes, we do. You know, we have so much in stored for our team members out there. So we want you to continue growing. Don't be discouraged. If something dies or if something doesn't go the way you want to, that's a part of the process. It's going to make you better, okay? And you can always contact us. So we want you to continue growing. And like I always say, let's grow together so we can grow together. Thank you once again for joining us, growing with us, and being a team member. Thank you. See you next